Good day, everybody. By denest right here, I just mean to remove this outer radical, or write an answer that doesn't have a radical contained within a radical. Now, a very useful result here that probably a lot of you are thinking of right now is if you have, let's say like this, because this is a minus b quantity squared okay. This is just the equal to the absolute value of AB, right? That's literally the definition of absolute value, the non-piecewise definition of absolute value. Now here we just have to be sure that A is greater than B. In other words, for the purposes of this problem. And let me show you what I mean by that. This particular identity comes in quite handy if you just take a look at what we have here. You have a 59 here that appears sort of out of gas, like where did that come from? But notice that we do have this minus sign right here, which might be related. It turns out it is. The problems are designed to work, but it's going to be related to this term right here, where it's this piece right here. This piece right here, you identify it with this part right here. Okay? And so that would suggest that A is 6, or the other way around, I guess, and B is the square root of 23. Okay, like that. I'm just writing it directly above it, right? So in other words, notice that if we consider that choice, and notice that 6 is bigger than the square root of 23. Square root of 23 is less than 5, right? Okay. So now, so we're going to assign A. So what you'd end up with is 6 minus, and this is just an attempt, but it looks like it's going to fit this identity. Okay, there may be other ways to approach it, but this is the only identity I see that would make this work. So if you have like this, quantity squared. Okay, now if you take a look at this identity here right here, you're going to get 6 squared, which is 36. Then of course you're going to get minus 12 times the square root of 23. Again, I'm just directly from here, okay? And then you're going to get the square root of 23 squared, which is plus 23. Well, guess what? This is equal to 59, which is the radicand, right? So this is equal to 59. When you sum up these two integers, 36 and 23 is 59, minus 12 root 23. Okay, so what we have right here is that this would be equal to the square root. Okay, we've just shown that this is that, so we can put 6 minus square root of 23 quantity squared. Now up here, like I told you, this is equal to the absolute value of A minus B, okay? But since 6 is bigger than the square root of 23 is less than 5, right? Okay, so what we get right here is this is just equal to the inverse function. I mean, these are inverse functions, squaring and square rooting inverse functions. So our answer would be 6 minus root 23. So I think on a lot of these type of problems, that's our answer. Now I know what you're probably thinking. You're thinking, well, yeah, you made up this problem. You're right, I did. But you have to, typically speaking, on these sort of problems, you're going to make use of some type of algebraic identity. Like if this were the fourth root of something, you would be considering the binomial expansion exponent for, x plus y quantity raised to the fourth power. Okay. Right here, we tried this identity. It may not have worked. Maybe it could have been a fourth power identity, but the numbers look too small for that. Okay, so I tried this identity, which appeared to be relevant, and it was. So this is our solution, folks. The square root of this expression is that. Notice we removed the outside radical, and I think that's what denesting means. But anyway, that's the final answer right there. That's what I got at least. Okay, thanks for viewing.